A historic Democratic National Convention kicked off tonight.
The first ever virtual convention because of the coronavirus pandemic. Democrats this week will nominate former Vice President Joe Biden to run against President Donald Trump, and with him, Kamala Harris as Vice President. Former First Lady Michelle Obama gave tonight's keynote address. She was pointed and direct in saying that the country is underperforming on policy and character.
Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head. He cannot meet this moment. He simply cannot be who we need him to be for us.
Tonight kicked off one of the most unusual Democratic conventions in history as the nation is reeling from the COVID virus outbreak, a devastating economic collapse, and civil unrest. Pet Kessler is watching the convention for us tonight the same way we all are, virtually. He joins us now. Hi there, Pat.
Hey, yeah, nobody really knew what to expect. Thousands of delegates were supposed to be holding a convention starting tonight in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That's a swing state that President Trump won in 2016. But the COVID restrictions forced all of the delegates and all of the candidates to stay at home for their own safety. I know the Minnesota delegation tried to make the best of it without balloons or confetti. Here's a delegation Zoom breakfast this morning. They got a pep talk from top state Democrats, including Senator Amy Klobuchar. Tonight, Klobuchar addressed the convention from St. Paul. She accused the president of trying to sabotage the post office to slow down mail-in voting.
I believe that the right to vote is fundamental, and the post office is essential. You know, the president may hate the post office, but he's still going to have to send them a change of address card come January.
Well, a very heavy emphasis from Democrats on the president's handling, or as they called it, mishandling of the coronavirus pandemic for the last several months, including this moment from a young woman who blamed the president for her father's death.
My dad was a healthy 65-year-old. His only pre-existing condition was trusting Donald Trump, and for that, he paid with his life.
So very tough. After that comment, Democrats played a music tribute honoring the more than 160,000 Americans who have died from COVID so far in this country. The pandemic then, the economic collapse, civil unrest after George Floyd, the post office, mail-in voting, those are the big issues on day one, night one of the Democratic Convention. Very clearly, Amelia, these are going to be the issues going forward for the next 90 days, and they're coming out fast from the Democrats.
Yeah, they are. And now we saw something unusual tonight. Yes, the Democrats are trying to unite disappointed supporters of Senator Bernie Sanders, but we also saw some Republicans tonight.
Yeah, you know, in all the years I've been covering conventions and politics, I haven't ever quite seen this. Democrats are trying to unify the party. They all try to do that, especially reaching out to the left. Senator Bernie Sanders making the case for Biden, and from the right, a number of prominent Republicans endorsing Biden, including a big one, former Republican Governor John Kasich. So that was a surprise for a lot of people. Republicans on the right, the Democrats on the far left, all trying to come together anyway, unify the message. There is a lot to watch this week. President Obama will be giving a speech. The former president speaks Wednesday night. That is the same night that Senator Harris will accept the nomination for vice president. That's historic. And then Biden will accept the nomination for his party on Thursday night. And so that is how they will end this very odd, very different Democratic convention, 4 days all around the country.
Yeah, and you will be all over it. So thank you, Pat. As Pat mentioned, along with politicians, we heard from George Floyd's family. Their remarks were brief, calling for people to carry on the fight for justice, saying that protesters' actions will contribute to George's legacy. He then introduced a moment of silence for George and others killed by police.